we're outsiders. But next year's a transitional year in MotoGP in a lot of ways. Obviously a big regulatory change for 27. So hopefully by sort of this time next year we'll be more insider than outsider. Yeah, we're really excited about the task ahead.
I think my biggest challenge is to learn as quick as possible what is going on here. As I said, you know, and as Richard said as well, we approach this with humility. We know there's a lot of good people here. I always, whenever I do something new, first I need to learn, and then I know my challenges. In the moment, if I would say this is my biggest challenge, I don't know them yet. You know, my biggest challenge is to learn to see what is the biggest challenge. It sounds maybe a little bit confusing, but it's not the first time I confuse people, you know. So, in the end, that is what I have to do. And you know, I learned a lot when I moved to the United States to open up a NASCAR team where I didn't know anything about NASCAR, and I got there and I said, the first 6 months, I just want to learn. You know, I just want to see. And I got the advantage here that I've got Hervé on our side, you know, as a consultant, you know. So hopefully I'm quicker than 6 to 8 months, but I give myself a good time. And the growth potential is everywhere. I mean, I think that the biggest potential is to bring it to more people, you know, that more people watch it. It's a very exciting sport. If you look at it, you know, the racing which is going on, it's a man and a machine and man against man. You know, it's when you watch a race, there is very seldom a boring moment. So I think the potential is there. It's just like more people need to be aware of it, you know, how exciting it is, and that will happen. I mean, that happened up to now. I mean, there's not like a lot of people is watching it, and I think it is the potential is also to grow it in countries where in the moment is not this present, like in the United States, but there is a lot of opportunities.
We believed in MotoGP, full stop.
David Emmett, Paddock Pass podcast over here. A question for both Gunther and Richard. Well, two questions. Firstly, did this process start before the Liberty takeover of Dorna even start? And secondly, you've both been successful in Formula One. Why not another project in Formula One, but rather start a new project in MotoGP?
The first question, yes, we started with this one before Liberty was involved in this one. As Richard just said before, this was not depending on Liberty or not. You know, for us, we saw potential in this one. And second question, why not another project in Formula One? First of all, I would say this is something I always looked at and never had time. And, you know, it was interesting. I think Formula One is at the stage I've done it, you know, been there long enough, you know, so do something new. I always like new challenges. You know, I said before, I moved to the States to open up a NASCAR team, you know, while I was in Formula One. So it is not, Formula One is not the, it's fantastic Formula One, but it's not the only thing you can do in motorsport, or the only thing you want to do, because you always, I always like challenges in my life to do something new, because when we started, I thought, do you think I can make this happen? And we made it happen.
Yeah, I think just further to that, echoing what Gunther said about the Liberty transaction, but you know, also in terms of you know, Gunther's had quite a few offers and bits and bobs in Formula One, but I think like we've both been in environments where we've had strained relationships with people we've worked with or whatever else, and I think we just wanted to do something that was very much on our terms that we had full control over. So I think, you know, looking at like a 5-year horizon, we're pretty excited as what we think we can do in this paddock. I mean, like I said, we approach that with total humility, and we're going to take a while to learn, but we don't want to just make up the numbers. So we had to look at a project that we thought we'd ultimately be able to succeed in the long term.
And then I met Hervé, and I didn't get away anymore from it. You know?
Hi, Dimitris Diatsidis from Greek TV. A question for Hervé. Hervé, you've been a key person in this paddock. Which was your best and which was your worst time as a team principal?
When you met me, was the best.
No, I would say the best moment, you know, when you're racing, you know, you want to be competitive, and I have the pleasure and the honor to have Olivier Jacques in this room.
Formula One.
4 wheels.
Good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's all about wheels. The first one, there's only 2 wheels and not 4, and as I said, we shouldn't put 4 wheels on the bikes, you know. So
it's
no,
very
without a quick answer, no. No, the biggest surprise. I mean, actually, we were welcomed here. You know, in Formula One, obviously, Formula One is more pressure. There is pressure here as well, but it's more the sporting pressure. You know, in Formula One, there's a lot of politics, and you guys know what's going on there. And how we were welcomed, I was surprised, you know, because I mean we are outsiders, so I'm an outsider to be honest, you know, in here, and I was welcomed, which is very strange because I'm not welcomed everywhere. What we should not adopt from Formula One, I would not go one-to-one specific because every sport has got his own story to tell or his own way to go, you know. So and I don't think because a lot of people now maybe are thinking because Liberty took over, it will copy-paste Formula One. I don't think they will do it because the Dorna, the Speletta family is still running this business and they know what is important to MotoGP. You know, they don't need to go and copy someone else, you know, because they can write their own story. There is enough ingredients here to make your own story, you know, and enough good people here to make your own story. You don't have to go out there and say, oh, let's do how we do it there. No, you always have to look what other sports doing, but not only Formula One. There's a lot of other sports you can learn from. I learned a lot from in entertainment in sport in America from the stick and ball sports, you know, how to bring the fans closer to it. You have to look at everywhere, but it's not like that you can go, oh, let's pick this from Formula One and do it here, because there's no need for it. MotoGP can do their own thing and be very successful. Oh, they are already very successful. You know, they didn't wait for me to be successful. They will be, they are successful and will be even more successful. And obviously, as we said before, Liberty for sure will help with that one because they're an American company. They know sport entertainment, and they will bring things to the fans here, which the fans will enjoy.
Celia Rulle for Speedweek. My question is to Günther. So are there maybe still some things in terms of the extreme growth Formula One has been experiencing in the last couple of about years that you've been a part of, obviously, that you could transfer to MotoGP that might go into this extreme growth soon, hopefully? And could you maybe also be kind of a person who is a link between the two racing series in the future, as you know both worlds?
Yeah, I think for sure will be a link between them. As you said, Formula One was long my only thing. You know, I'm still doing some TV work, as you maybe know. You know, because obviously you're German, so you can. Sometimes I do work for German TV. So yeah, there is a link there between, and I know a lot of people there. So it's always good to have both views. And you know, what can be done to make the sport bigger? As I said before, I don't think anybody needs to go and copy F1 what was done. You need to look, analyze what was done, what worked, what not. You know, all the stuff that they did with social media to make that growth in Formula One. I mean, we never have to forget that Formula One got also a little bit lucky in an unlucky moment of us in the COVID time. You know, it was the worst time in my life, the COVID time. But for Formula One was a good time because Formula One was very good to react and go back live sport. And a lot of people were just waiting for something live. And they watched it and kept on watching it, you know. So we never have to forget how it all happened as well. But for sure, Dorna knows all that. But I think on how to bring it to people, there is a lot of potential there. And it's already happening now that is done.